Oak Island Season 12 just ended with a discovery no one saw coming. For more than 2 centuries, the island has held on to its secrets, tunnels that lead nowhere, clues that raise more questions than answers, and countless failed attempts to uncover the legendary Money Pit treasure. But in Season 12, after months of digging, pumping, and searching, the Lagina brothers and their team ended the year with a discovery so shocking it could rewrite everything we thought we knew about Oak Island. What they uncovered wasn't gold or jewels, but something even more valuable: evidence of early tunneling deep beneath the island, dating back hundreds of years. Who were these mysterious diggers? What were they hiding? And could this be the final breadcrumb leading to the treasure? Stay with us, because by the end of this video, we'll reveal the Season 12 discovery that could finally crack Oak Island's greatest mystery. And trust me, you won't want to miss it. As Season 12 of Oak Island neared its dramatic finale, the team faced one final high-stakes mission: the installation of their 6th and largest steel caisson of the year. They called it TOT-1, or the One Thing. And with good reason. It was designed to reach parts of the Money Pit that had never been explored in such detail. This wasn't a simple dig. The caisson measured nearly 7 feet in diameter and descended a staggering 195 feet below the surface. It plunged into a massive natural cavity in the bedrock, a formation the team calls the Solution Channel. Over the years, this cavity had been partially filled with more than 100 tons of debris from previous excavations and mysterious collapses. To the team, this channel represented both the greatest challenge and the greatest opportunity of the season. Rick Lagina, one of Oak Island's most dedicated explorers, spoke with a mix of hope and apprehension. There still could be something down at the bottom of that caisson, and we're gonna hope we find the one thing. His words reflected the shared excitement and tension felt by everyone on the team, each member acutely aware that the season's outcome and perhaps years of research hinged on this single moment. The process itself was grueling. Heavy pumps were fired up to vacuum out the tons of muck and debris that had accumulated over the centuries. Every inch of progress revealed more of the cavern below, and every moment brought new suspense. The team worked against not only the clock, but also the weather, which threatened to close in and force an early end to their efforts. As the vacuum roared to life and the first material was drawn up from the depths, the team held their breath. Could this finally be the breakthrough they had been waiting for? With TOT-1, they weren't just digging a hole. They were chasing a centuries-old mystery, hoping to uncover evidence of those who came before, and perhaps, just perhaps, the legendary treasure that had eluded explorers for generations. For the Lagina brothers and their team, this was more than a dig. It was a race against time, a test of endurance, and a chance to finally confront the secrets that Oak Island had been hiding for over 200 years. With the caisson fully in place and the muck beginning to be cleared, the team's attention shifted to what lay above and around the site: the spoils that had been brought to the surface. Every bucket of debris held the potential to reveal a clue, a fragment of history, or even a piece of the legendary treasure itself. The real work was about to begin. The spoils from TOT-1, carefully removed from the depths of the Solution Channel, had been laid out at Smith's Cove and allowed to dry in the open air. What appeared to be ordinary dirt and debris held within it the potential for extraordinary discoveries. Rick, Marty, and their team approached the site with a mixture of anticipation and reverence, knowing that even the smallest piece of metal or wood could rewrite their understanding of Oak Island's history. Metal detectors were swept over the piles, their high-pitched beeps echoing across the cove. Each sound of the detector set the team on edge, hearts racing, as they carefully excavated with shovels and brushes, sifting through centuries of layered earth. It was meticulous, painstaking work, but patience had always been a hallmark of Oak Island exploration. Then a signal rang out, a sharp, clear tone that drew Gary Drayton's full attention. He knelt over the spot, digging with care, and soon uncovered the end of a small iron pick fragment. At first glance, it seemed like an ordinary tool, but upon closer inspection, the team realized its significance. This was no modern implement. Its design and wear suggested it had been used for tunneling deep underground, and not for casual digging. Weeks earlier, another pick fragment had been discovered far deeper within TOT-1, raising the tantalizing possibility of a connection. Could these small remnants be part of a larger, centuries-old system of tunnels beneath Oak Island? Blacksmithing expert Carmen Legg examined the fragment and suggested that it could date back as far as the 16th century. If true, this would mean someone had been working under Oak Island long before the Money Pit was officially discovered in 1795. A revelation that could change everything we thought we knew about the island. As the team continued to sort through the spoils, every artifact, every fragment of metal, and every unusual shape became a clue. Rick and Marty carefully cataloged each find, while discussions buzzed around historical context and potential connections to past theories. Every signal from a metal detector, every uncovered fragment, fueled a mix of hope, curiosity, and awe. It became increasingly clear that the TOT-1 spoils were more than just dirt. They were a window into history, a tangible link to those who had labored, dug, and hidden secrets beneath Oak Island long before the present-day team arrived. Every discovery reinforced the mystery. Centuries of work, hidden underground, waiting to be interpreted. And while gold and jewels remained elusive, the real treasure of TOT-1 was starting to reveal itself. Proof that Oak Island's underground labyrinths were the work of deliberate ancient hands, leaving clues for the modern explorers to uncover. As the last fragments were uncovered and the dust settled over Smith's Cove, the team realized they had something more than mere relics of the past. These small iron tools weren't just random artifacts, they were pieces of a puzzle that could unlock the true history of Oak Island. To understand their significance, expert analysis would be critical. It was time to take the discoveries to the lab, examine their composition, and uncover just how far back they might date. With the pick fragments and chisel carefully transported to the Oak Island Museum lab, the team's focus shifted from excavation to investigation. Here, the artifacts could be examined under controlled conditions, measured, scanned, and analyzed for clues that might reveal who had been working underground centuries ago. Every detail mattered. The metal composition, the wear patterns, even the tiniest striations on the tools could provide hints about their age and purpose. The results were nothing short of remarkable. Both the small pick fragment and the larger chisel were composed of clean, forged iron, a material consistent with tools manufactured in the early to mid-17th century, possibly even earlier. Further analysis revealed a consistent potassium content, indicative of a charcoal-based forging process that was largely phased out by the mid-17th century. Experts suggested these tools could date as far back as the 1650s, placing them well before the official discovery of the Money Pit in 1795. For the team, this was groundbreaking. Marty reflected on the implications. We now have proof that people were down there way before discovery. Just that this year lends credence to all the stories about the Money Pit. Rick added that while the fragments were small, They might be linked to earlier, unknown attempts to tunnel beneath the island, suggesting a deliberate effort to hide or protect something of great value. The artifacts also raised countless questions. Who were these early diggers? Were they treasure hunters, engineers, or members of a secret society? Why did they construct tunnels so deep? And what were they trying to conceal? Each mark, each curve of the iron, told a story of skill, determination, and secrecy. A story that had remained buried for centuries, waiting for modern explorers to piece it together. Even without gold or jewels, the discovery was electrifying. The fragments were a form of treasure in their own right, tangible proof of centuries-old human activity, painstakingly designed subterranean structures, and the lengths someone had gone to protect their secrets. For the Lagina brothers and their team, this wasn't just about material wealth anymore. It was about knowledge, historical context, and understanding the methods of those who came before. Season 12's real breakthrough was becoming clear. The artifacts were a key to deciphering the mystery, a bridge connecting the present-day exploration with the island's hidden past. And while the ultimate treasure remained mystery, these small, iron tools brought the team closer than ever to understanding Oak Island's enigmatic history and the centuries-old puzzles that still lie beneath its surface. With the excavation season drawing to a close, Rick and Marty Lagina, alongside Craig Tester and the rest of the Oak Island team, gathered to assess what had been uncovered over the past year. The focus was no longer just on the money pit itself, but on the story told by the artifacts, the soil, and the tunnels that had been revealed. Marty spoke with a mixture of awe and humility. We didn't find treasure in the way most people think of it. Gold, silver, jewels. But we did find something that is just as valuable. Proof that people were here long before anyone recorded it, working deep beneath the island in ways we are only beginning to understand. The season had delivered 6 major shafts, culminating in the installation of TOT-1 and the discovery of century-old tools. But the real impact lay in what these artifacts represented. Every striation on a pick fragment, every piece of forged iron, every hint of human activity offered a glimpse into history, into the minds and methods of the island's original diggers. For the team, each small discovery became part of a larger narrative, confirming theories that had been debated for decades. Rick added his perspective, his voice tinged with emotion. I've believed in Oak Island since I was a boy. To see evidence like this, to witness the ingenuity and effort of those who came before, it's inspiring. It reminds us why we keep coming back year after year. Even without a chest of gold or the long-sought treasure, the team recognized that knowledge itself had become the reward. Understanding the tunnels, the methods, and the tools of past diggers would guide future excavation efforts and increase the odds of eventually uncovering the ultimate prize. Each season builds upon the last, and this year's discoveries were foundational for what comes next. The reflections were not purely technical. There was an emotional resonance in the room as the team recognized the culmination of months of effort, collaboration, and problem-solving. For Rick and Marty, the journey was deeply personal, a shared adventure with family and friends, steeped in the mystery that had captivated them for decades. As the team prepared to wrap up the season, one truth was clear. The real treasure of Season 12 was knowledge itself, the validation that Oak Island's mysteries are real, complex, and waiting for the right explorers to unravel them. And with that knowledge, the stage was set for the next chapter of this centuries-old quest, promising even more discoveries, surprises, and jaw-dropping revelations in the seasons to come. Over the years, the Oak Island team has continually adapted their methods, learning from past seasons, previous failures, and every fragment of evidence they uncover. One of the most ambitious plans under discussion is what the team calls the honeycomb process. This method involves digging a series of 8-foot diameter steel shafts, strategically positioned side by side, extending down to depths of up to 230 feet. By doing so, the team can thoroughly explore the solution channel and adjacent subterranean areas, leaving no stone unturned. Rick explained why this approach is necessary. We've realized that the money pit area is far more complex than anyone originally imagined. Collapsed debris, hidden tunnels, and centuries of unknown activity make it difficult to locate anything using a single shaft. The honeycomb process allows us to systematically investigate every potential pocket of mystery underground. The plan is not without its challenges. Digging multiple large shafts in close proximity requires precision, coordination, and enormous effort. The team must contend with unstable soil, shifting weather conditions, and the immense weight of tons of debris that could collapse into the shafts at any moment. But these risks are calculated, and the potential payoff is monumental, finally uncovering definitive proof of the money pit's legendary treasure. Alex and other team members spoke about the technical aspects, from reinforced steel caissons to high-capacity pumps, highlighting the intricate logistics required to make the honeycomb plan feasible. Each season builds upon the last, and the lessons learned in Season 12, especially with TOT1, provide invaluable guidance for future excavation. Beyond the technical and historical significance, the honeycomb plan represents something more profound, a renewed hope. After centuries of unanswered questions, the Oak Island team is closer than ever to decoding the island's mysteries. With meticulous planning, cutting-edge technology, and the knowledge gained from previous discoveries, they are poised to tackle the money pit like never before. Season 12 may have ended, but the story of Oak Island is far from over. The honeycomb process promises not only new shafts and excavations, but also new insights, discoveries, and, perhaps, one day, the ultimate treasure that has eluded explorers for over 2 centuries. The stage is set, and the adventure continues. While plans for the honeycomb excavation set the stage for future seasons, the heart of Oak Island lies not only in what is dug from the ground, but in the people who chase its mysteries. As Season 12 came to a close, the team gathered for one final moment together, a chance to reflect on the discoveries, the journey, and the incredible dedication that had brought them to this point. In the quiet of the Oak Island Museum, surrounded by their team, artifacts, and decades of history, Rick and Marty Lagina stood together one last time for Season 12. There was a sense of awe in the room, not from gold or treasure, but from the sheer magnitude of what they had accomplished. Rick's voice broke the quiet as he began speaking to the assembled team, his tone a mix of reverence, gratitude, and awe. "I've believed in Oak Island since I was a boy, in its mystery, in its story, and in the treasure we all hope to find. But over these years, I've learned that it's not just the treasure that matters. It's the history, the knowledge, the discoveries, and, most importantly, the people we share it with." Every word resonated with the team, who had endured grueling days of excavation, pumping tons of debris from the depths of TOT1, and analyzing artifacts that might date back centuries. The challenges had been immense: collapsing shafts, unpredictable weather, and the constant uncertainty of whether the season would yield any meaningful findings. Yet the dedication, teamwork, and persistence had paid off in ways that were immeasurable. Rick's voice grew softer, emotional. "To not only share this adventure with my brother, my nephews, and friends who have become like family, but also to witness the commitment and passion of this entire team is one of the greatest pleasures of my life. Thank you. Marty reflected on the season with humility and pride. We didn't find treasure in the traditional sense, but we found something far more valuable: knowledge. Every tool, every fragment, every tunnel discovery brings us closer to understanding the mystery that has captivated generations. That, in itself, is priceless. The room was filled with quiet acknowledgement, smiles, and soft laughter as team members absorbed the weight of the season. This moment marked not just the end of a year's work, but a celebration of centuries-old history revealed, teamwork, and shared ambition. As the meeting concluded, it became clear that Oak Island had once again offered tantalizing clues without giving up its ultimate prize. Season 12 had ended, yes, but with the artifacts, insights, and strategies now in place, the legend of Oak Island was far from over. The team left the museum united, inspired, and ready for the challenges of future seasons, proving that sometimes the real treasure lies not in gold, but in discovery itself, and the bond forged between those who chase history's most enduring mysteries. Season 12 of The Curse of Oak Island may have ended without a chest of gold or priceless jewels, but the final discoveries proved that the hunt is far from over, and more thrilling than ever. From the deep excavation of TOT-1 to the uncovering of century-old tools, the Lagina brothers and their team provided concrete proof that Oak Island has been touched by human hands long before modern records began. Each fragment of metal, every striation, and the very tunnels themselves are testament to ingenuity, secrecy, and centuries of untold stories. This season reminded us that treasure is not always measured in wealth. Knowledge, insight, and understanding of Oak Island's complex underground network are treasures in their own right. The small pick fragments and chisel may not glint in the sunlight, but they illuminate history, confirming that people were tunneling hundreds of feet underground, leaving behind clues that continue to challenge and inspire explorers today. Looking forward, the honeycomb excavation plan promises to take the search to unprecedented levels. With 6 massive shafts successfully installed and analyzed this season, the team is now prepared to explore the Money Pit area with a systematic and methodical approach that could finally reveal the island's most closely guarded secrets. It's a combination of cutting-edge technology, centuries of historical research, and a team whose dedication borders on obsession. The perfect formula for uncovering a mystery that has captivated the world for over 200 years. Season 12 also reinforced the human story behind the treasure. The camaraderie, determination, and shared purpose of the team, from Rick and Marty Lagina to Craig Tester, Gary Drayton, and every member who braved the muck and danger, highlight that Oak Island is as much about people as it is about history or wealth. Their passion, persistence, and curiosity drive the search forward and inspire viewers to wonder what might still be hidden beneath the island's surface. As the season closes, one thing is certain: Oak Island continues to guard its secrets, teasing the world with glimpses of history and challenges that have endured centuries. Season 12 has set a foundation of discovery, knowledge, and strategy that future explorers will build upon. The ultimate treasure remains elusive, but the pursuit is alive, electrifying, and more compelling than ever. So, what lies beneath Oak Island? Tools, tunnels, treasures, or secrets yet to be imagined? Only time will tell. But one thing is undeniable. The legend of Oak Island lives on, and the adventure is far from over.